everyone, welcome to Spill the Beans podcast. My name is Lester.
Yes,
So,
Lester.
before ko ipasa kay Tito Pao ang mic, announce ko lang na if you want to listen also on audio format, available na rin ang ating podcast sa Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, and other platforms na online ngayon sa mga apps.
Wow, all thanks to Lester. You're the one uploading all of that.
And,
alam mo, nung andyan si Summer kahapon, talagang ang bilis mo magsalita. Ngayon na all alone ka, very composed and very relaxed.
Oo nga. Pero yun nga, memory keepers and future subscribers, kasama pa rin natin ng inyong friendly neighborhood Tito. Walang iba kundi si Tito Paolo.
Yes, memory keepers, future subscribers. Yung future subscribers, subscribe na naman kayo. Ang tagal niyo mag-subscribe. Thank you for once again going online on YouTube and watching another episode of Spill the Beans. Today we try to vary our content naman talaga. Ang dami kasi minsan may nagko-comment, puro girls daw ang guest natin, puro travel vloggers, puro beauty vloggers. Totoo ba yun, Lester?
Pansin ko rin eh.
Napansin mo din, no? Pero we do our best to vary our content. Kasi pag guest-based, you also have to adjust to the schedule of the guests. Diba? So, minsan na-tsempo lang naman. Wag niyo naman isipin na parating girls lang ang guest namin. Na-tsempo lang. Okay. So, today we have a special guest.
Yes.
Tama ba? Special guest. We have a special guest, no? It's a content that I've been seeing for some time. And it's also different. Very different naman po kami ngayon from your usual podcast guest. For everyone looking for more manly content, today we have Hans.
All right, so my name is Hans Tan. They also know me on social media as King Panda. And you can find me on YouTube, King Panda, on Facebook, King Panda, and on Instagram, King Panda 999. We also have our Facebook and Instagram pages, Luxury Cars Manila, and our supplement line, Reborn Performance, which is R3, not RE.
R3.
R3 Born.
R3
Reborn.
Born. Hans, I'll start with the most obvious sa visuals namin na nakikita ko sa'yo. You have tattoos, right? Very rare na may guest kami with tattoos. How's the experience ba of having tattoos? Because I also have some.
Mm-hmm.
Sa akin nga yung experience talagang parang blade, no? When did you get yours?
I got my first tattoo back in 1996. 95.
Wow.
95. If you notice the dragon, that dragon is significantly smaller back then.
Okay.
It was probably about 4 inches by 2 inches.
4 inches by 2 inches.
Yeah,
okay.
when I was still in college. And it was done the traditional way where the tattoo artist used the bamboo.
Wow.
Bamboo and ink.
Yeah. There's a famous tattoo artist, diba? The female who's a little bit
the one
senior.
in Benguet.
Yes.
Yeah, but this guy was the one who did a lot of the rock star tattoos in Venice Beach.
All right.
So I was with a bunch of my fraternity brothers back then in college, and we decided to get a tattoo. So when I came back home to Manila in 2009, I decided to make it a little bigger. That's the dragon you see right now.
And
last year, I decided, what the hell, to get what they call a half armor, which stretches from the chest all the way to the shoulders to the back. So this is still a work in progress.
Okay, I didn't know that's what they call it.
It's a half armor.
Okay, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it true that once you hit your 40s, it's more painful to get a tattoo?
I think it's painful irregardless of what age.
Yeah.
Because the skin is skin.
Yeah.
So you get used to it after a while.
Mataas ang pain tolerance, no? For you siguro.
I don't think it's a pain tolerance. It's after a couple of hours, you just get numb.
That's true. I was thinking of getting one, but my friend kept telling me, "Wow, grabe na, sakit once you hit your 40s." So I was like starting to think about it. But I guess you're right. It's not the pain tolerance. After a while, all that buzzing, numb ka na eh.
Yeah,
No?
numb ka na.
Oh, si Lester, di ba? You also have one. Kailan mo ba nakuha yung sa'yo, Lester?
Sa akin siguro nung 2009 lang. Pero ano lang naman siya, parang stencil lang yung dating. Hindi naman siya yung ganito
Full
daw.
color.
Full color.
Is it more painful ba pag full
The color's a little bit more painful. Like
Oh,
this one was probably the most painful.
okay.
Like right here.
By the bicep area,
by
it's
the
still
bicep.
painful.
Yeah, it's the most tender part. Eh. That's why hindi na umabot. Dapat gusto nila gawin until here. I was
Yeah.
like, forget it. Masakit.
I don't know if I can still do it, if I'll have the tolerance to do it. Hans, I'm also looking at your Instagram right now. You're very much into fitness, no?
Yes.
Oh, that's why hence you were saying you have your supplement line.
Yeah. When I was in the US, I started off. I worked for one of the big financial firms that went
Yeah.
bankrupt, and we
Okay.
were in the middle of the whole mess.
Yeah.
And after that, decided to come home. I was about 310 pounds.
Wow.
I was fat.
Wow.
You've probably seen one of the photos in my Instagram, before and after photo.
Okay.
But I walked into a meeting one day with a friend of mine that I've never seen since high school,
okay.
and he ended up becoming a fitness person in the U.S., owned a gym, and went back to Iloilo.
Okay.
And as soon as I walked into Starbucks, he looked at me and said, "Bro, it's like you're like this close to dying.
Yeah.
It's like you need to change." So that's what prompted my fitness journey.
Okay. Okay.
So in 2015, I decided to join my first bodybuilding competition
Wow.
and
Galing, ah.
placed first. And then that's where the bodybuilding bug
Hit you na.
hit me until. So that was me.
Hence, I have to ask, you grew up in the Philippines or in the States?
I grew up here
Okay.
and I moved to the U.S. in '92
92.
for college.
Okay. Are you here for good now? Are you
I'm
staying?
here for good. Yeah, here for good.
So in 2015, that's when the fitness journey started here.
Actually, it started in 2013.
2013.
It started around 2010, 2011, but I made every mistake in the book.
Mm.
You know, did all the fads, the egg diet, the this diet, the that diet. Nothing ever worked.
What's the egg diet?
You just eat egg whites.
I'm guilty of that.
Trust me.
Well, what's wrong with because that's the only thing I know how to cook. So I really don't know how to cook a lot of other things. So it's just egg and bread in my pantry. But yes, I feel hungry and weak during the day. Kaya nga may food panda rin eh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Pero what's wrong with the egg diet?
It's not just the egg diet that's wrong. It's just having one specific
Meal.
diet is wrong.
Gotcha.
At the end of the day, it's balance.
Yes.
You know, if you go back to the age of the cavemen, you know, although that's not the best example because their mortality rate was pretty low.
Yeah.
They pretty much ate a pretty balanced diet.
Mm-hmm.
It consisted of meat, you know, protein, fats, and carbs.
Yeah.
And here we are, fast forward, you know, 15, 16 iterations later, we come up with these ridiculous diets because it helps us lose weight.
Yeah.
You know, I have this theory na, I call it the Bintana Massacre.
I like it. Why is it the Bintana Massacre?
There's three ways of losing weight.
Yeah.
One is, you know, if you're in the penthouse of a building, you know, the first way of losing weight is you can take the stairs.
All right. Yeah, that's
You'll
true.
get to the ground floor. It's a little slower,
Yeah.
but you'll get to the ground floor. The second way is you take the elevator.
Okay.
You know, medyo maghihintay ka ng konti. You have to wait for the elevator. People get in and out.
Yeah.
But you eventually get to the bottom floor.
Yeah.
Or you can jump out the window.
Yeah. You get there faster.
You get there faster.
Yeah.
But you end up dead.
Yeah.
So there's three ways. There's always these three ways of getting things done.
Yeah.
But which one is actually the right way?
The best way is to use the stairs.
Use the stairs.
Yeah.
But most people aren't willing to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking to jump out the window,
Exactly.
right?
Parang
Yun
easiest way.
na ang content ni Hans. Ask Hans or mga parang health
Tips
concerns,
or
diba?
advice,
Pwede.
Because
Yeah.
I've made every mistake in the book.
Yeah.
Throughout the first few years of my journey, and
Mm-mm.
I've read everything. I've tried everything.
Yeah.
The canned tuna diet.
Yeah.
I mean, it came to a point where pag nakita ko ng canned tuna, I wanted to throw it at someone. Just right now I can taste it. Just talking about it. It was that bad.
Yeah.
Steamed chicken.
Steamed
chicken. Unless it's Hainanese chicken, why do you want to eat steamed chicken?
I know. Pero if for competition naman, I get what you're saying na daily life, you shouldn't be preparing for the stage. Pero for competition, is this something that you have?
Game.
It's a different game.
It's a different game. It's a lot of people call it sacrifice.
Mm-mm.
I never called it sacrifice because nobody put a gun to your head.
That's true.
Nobody told you to do it. You did it for yourself. So
Yeah.
it was fun, but not sustainable.
Okay. So yung discipline mo, yung core discipline mo at that time was bodybuilding?
It was bodybuilding.
It's bodybuilding. Can we, I know this for most of the titos, they already know this. Pero ano ba ang definition ng bodybuilding for the younger ones?
A bodybuilding competition is basically you go on stage and you wear that little bikini looking thing, which I swore I would never wear, but I did anyway.
Hala, Lester has clips. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's posted on my YouTube.
Yeah.
And basically, you have anywhere from 3 to 7 judges judging you on condition, symmetry,
Yeah.
proportion, and definition, everything.
Okay.
And it's a very subjective sport.
It is. Wow, you have merchandise. You have bags ba?
No, that was just made for me.
Okay.
Eventually, we'll have merch, but not right now.
Wow, this is you.
Yeah, that's me.
Wow. Oo nga, I have to ask, what's the purpose of being tanned for the people who don't know bodybuilding? What's the purpose of that?
When you go on stage and you're as white as I am, hindi makikita in definition. So you put on what they call spray tan.
Yeah.
Different companies offer it.
Yeah.
And you'll have a better projection on stage. Mas makikita in definition.
And this parang yung stage presence din andun, no?
Yes.
I remember parang yung there's also this one guy who's also doing bodybuilding, parang the husband of Jaya ata. I'm not so sure.
Husband of Jaya, yeah, that's I forgot his name.
Yeah, he's also
How
into
can
dogs.
I forget his name? Yeah.
I saw him.
It's the tip of my tongue.
I know, I also can't remember eh. Pero parang sometimes I see his content then online. Wow, I didn't know na ang dami ng competitions ngayon with bodybuilding. And what's the difference with bodybuilding and CrossFit?
Totally different because CrossFit is more functional.
Mm-hmm.
You're working towards a goal based on how many reps, time. So basically it's a race.
Yes.
With bodybuilding, there's no race.
Yes.
It's all aesthetics.
Okay.
You're not going to be judged based on how many pounds you lifted or how long it took you to lift those pounds, how many reps. So that's the big difference. Is CrossFit is a lot more functional.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can technically have a bodybuilder who looks great on stage, but you make him do CrossFit, he'll probably end up collapsing.
Is there discrimination with bodybuilders who think that CrossFit is something that's not worth their time, and CrossFit people saying that bodybuilding's not functional?
There's always this big disconnect between CrossFit and bodybuilding. Yeah. Actually, there's a big rift between the two.
I know.
And I was probably the first bodybuilder that ended up trying CrossFit.
Oh, you tried it.
And I actually did a video on it because
you have to pull that up.
And I'm not sure if we posted it.
How was it? I've been wanting to try it, but injury at this age will take about 6 months to heal. So I was thinking maybe I'll skip on it.
It was one of the most humbling things I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Di ba
Extremely hard. It gave me a whole new different perspective
Yeah.
on CrossFitters
CrossFit.
and how the training and talk about sacrifice, because they have to do maintenance every day, and it's a whole different animal.
What was your perception before you tried it out? Did it change after you went through their workouts?
Well, I was one of those guys that really never pass judgment on things until
That's
I
good.
try it.
That's very good.
Because it's there it is.
Yeah.
See, she's a CrossFit champion, Kristen Lin.
Yeah. Is this here in the Philippines?
Yeah, that's here. This is
All
here.
right.
This is at Avant-Garde in Pasig. Pasig
All
or
right.
Mandaluyong, I think.
And then this is your first time.
This is just a warm-up.
Di ba meron pa sila yung mga WOD?
Yes. We're gonna end up, you'll see a part of it here.
Okay.
If you fast forward later on, last year, you'll see it.
At least very open-minded ka, Hans. And at least you're the type that you're saying that you don't pass judgment until you try it. That's a very big thing. And that'll help a lot on YouTube because...
For me, it's a little unfair,
Yeah.
because especially for people who've never tried it,
Yeah.
and then to even talk about it
Yeah.
without even trying it is already hard.
Yeah.
Just imagine passing judgment.
That's true. I just have to say, this is amazing. I can't even do that.
Look, I thought I died.
Kaya may expression yung mga millennials eh. Did you die though?
Did
Diba?
you die? Yeah. The hangover expression.
Yeah. Tapos iba yung pull-ups nila, diba? Parang yung pull-ups nila may swinging motion.
I think the reason for that is because if you did the normal
Yeah.
pull-ups,
Yeah.
hindi ka tatagal eh.
Because they do it by volume,
Do
no?
it by volume. So they had to find a different way of doing things. I mean, this is one of the hard. You think it's like just
Yeah.
throwing a ball on a target, right?
Yeah, but it's heavy.
But it's 10 kilos, that ball.
Wow. Bigat.
I think it's 10 or 12, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's heavy.
Would you consider this now a young man's game, itong CrossFit, or people who are a little older can try it?
CrossFit was actually, I mean, a lot of our CrossFit your listeners could probably correct me, but based on my reading and my understanding is the reason CrossFit was invented is basically for cross training. It was really made for athletes.
Okay.
But there's a lot of people now who used to be sedentary, who end up doing CrossFit. And unfortunately, if you're new to the sport and you push yourself too much, that's where injuries start. But even at an older age, if guided properly, I think it's doable. It's very doable.
So, baka this is a misconception of mine. Parang nakikita ko kasi with the CrossFit, parang that's the nature of it. You have to push to the brink, or hindi naman. That you can gradually, if you can only do 10. I feel like I said, if you can only do 10, everyone's going to push you. All right, you have to do 20.
I think that's more drama than anything.
Yeah.
But the human body... Because there's a difference between pushing past your limit, your psychological limit, and pushing past your bodily limit.
Yeah.
I mean, 99% of the time it's psychological limit.
Okay.
Because we're afraid to cross that barrier. We're afraid to get injured. We're afraid
Get tired,
and maghugas pa ako ng pinggan pag uwi. You do a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
But there's such a thing called bodily limits. And when you go past that, that's where injury starts.
Yeah.
As we age, the recovery becomes slower and slower, longer and longer. So we have to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
So pushing yourself is okay as long as you understand your body.
Okay. Pero how's the culture in CrossFit? Is it will they really push you to the brink, or maalaga naman sila? They'll say, take we'll do it at your own pace.
I think it really depends on the gym you end up going to, the trainer, the instructor. You know, so you really have to find someone that you mesh with well.
Yeah.
You know, iba-ibang culture yan eh.
Parang sa bodybuilding din naman, whichever gym you use. Pag Planet Fitness, relax lang. Mga ganun, di ba?
May kasama pang donut.
Oo. And then, if you go to the hardcore gyms, mala CT Fletcher.
Yeah.
Right? Grabe nga, kahit CT Fletcher na went through a parang heart transplant ba yun?
Yeah, he had to go through a heart transplant. You know, that's where a lot of the performance enhancing drugs. I mean, all these.
Oh yeah, he did use.
Everybody. I mean,
nga pala.
At that point, you know, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And at some point in time, the piper needs to get paid.
I like that.
You know,
I want to write that down. I like that. That's true. Even Schwarzenegger, diba? He went through triple bypass. Ba?
Yes. Schwarzenegger had a heart valve surgery.
Okay.
You know, what a lot of people don't understand is, you know, we're going into the realm of steroids. You know, performance enhancing drugs is nothing more than, if we talk about cars, you know.
Yeah.
Like in cars, there's such a thing called nitrous oxide.
Yes.
NOS.
Yes.
Right? Fast and the Furious, you know, you press that nitrous, the car goes.
Yeah.
Well, if your engine is not at its peak, it'll end up blowing up.
Yeah.
But even if your engine is at its peak, at some point in time, the valves are gonna get gastado. You know, the fuel lines are gonna get out of place. So you have to do what you call an overhaul.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happened to Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had an overhaul.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's a heart valve surgery.
All right. Also, for the memory keepers and the future subscribers, we're talking about performance enhancing drugs here. Yeah. We're not talking about yung mga bawal na mga ano ba yung mga tinotokhang po. No, we're not talking about that. Talking about steroids and the use of it in bodybuilding and
or in a lot of sports.
In a lot of sports, sila Barry Bonds ba yun, the baseball players back in the day. So the performance enhancing drugs, the steroids, this is something that's common in bodybuilding.
In bodybuilding, kasi there's natural bodybuilding and there's regular bodybuilding. And unfortunately, when you get to a certain level, you know, you have to get to a point where your body can only grow so much. Yeah. Your DNA is your DNA.
Yes.
Your body type is your body type. So to defy your genetics, you have to do certain things.
All right.
Steroids do nothing more than speed up your recovery, open up your receptors so that everything you eat becomes more efficient.
Okay.
So if you have slow metabolism, it speeds it up. If you have deficiency in digestion, it speeds it up.
Okay.
But then again, I go back to the analogy of the car.
Yeah.
You know, you're every time you take steroids, you're pressing that nitrous oxide button.
Yeah. And you can't do that all the time.
You can't do that all the time.
Yeah.
And at a certain point in time, your internal organs are going to say, bro, you got to chill.
Yeah.
You know.
What's the first thing that's hit with your, if there's an overuse, what's the first thing that suffers? Is it the liver?
The liver.
The liver.
The liver, the heart. Yeah.
All right. Is there such a, may phrase ba talaga na natural bodybuilder with the likes of sila Phil Heath, the really professional ones?
Natural bodybuilders, I would say, are smaller.
Yeah.
They're smaller, they're more ripped. Although there's like Phil in competition, he's extremely ripped. I mean, you got the likes of Sean Roden, you got the likes of Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
You know, on stage they're extremely ripped.
Yeah.
But off season they try to bulk up, but they're still relatively lean.
Yeah.
They don't go ape.
Yeah.
You know.
Who's the current now? I can't remember.
Right now it's Sean Roden.
Sean Roden, and then who's the competition of Phil Heath, who retired for a while?
Kai Green.
Kai Green. Kai Green is so
my
interesting. He is so interesting. He's an artist. Now he's also trying to act. He's in China, getting movie roles. Who's your favorite? It's Kai Green?
Well, my favorite is really Jay Cutler.
Ah, interesting.
He's my all-time favorite.
Why? Because of the longevity?
He's just a different breed.
How
He's
so?
extremely smart. He's
Wow,
a business person.
I don't know him.
Never been embroiled in any scandals.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so he's one of the people I really look up to,
And
I follow.
And I heard he's very humble. Someone screamed at him an old lady to get off some exercise machine, and he just took it. He was just very courteous and cordial. He just gave way. So I'm not so familiar. The only thing I know about him is that he also parang groomed Phil Heath, or they were.
I think they're really good friends.
Yeah.
Jay used to work with a coach named Hani Rambod, who owns Evogen Nutrition, and that's Phil's coach. So back then, he used to promote a program called FST7.
Okay.
Fascia Strength Training 7.
All right.
Fascia Stretch Training 7, FST7.
Yeah.
And Jay was one of the guys who was in his videos,
Yeah.
and then it became Phil. So that's where they became friends. And they're still good friends, I think. I see them on social media a lot.
All right. So that's the genesis of your interest in supplements. Is that where it started? Because you've joined the competitions, you've lived the lifestyle. What gave you the impetus na okay, sige, I'll start I'll create my own supplement line?
My interest in supplements came when I started in bodybuilding. I hired I'll use this phrase called cochero. I actually coined that phrase. It's cochero. That means anybody who's a coach who doesn't really know shit.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that was my first foray into bodybuilding. And the first time I ever stepped in this cochero's gym, he started injecting me with stuff.
Oh, immediately?
Within about 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Started selling me stuff. So I became, you trust the person that you hire.
Yeah. Pero for humans naman kasi meron din ako naririnig na steroids that are not for humans that are being used by bodybuilders.
Okay, when it comes to steroids, there's testosterone, there's for livestock, and there's humans.
Yeah.
Some people who are on a budget use the ones for livestock.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's sold underground kasi. They're underground labs, so you don't know where the line crosses anymore.
Yeah. Di ka rin maka-due diligence, no? You're not sure if it's made for livestock or for humans.
Yeah, and you don't know whether the lab is really a legitimate lab or not because a lot of them's underground. They're not medically, they're not FDA, they're not,
That's true.
So, and there's certain substances, I'll give you an example, clenbuterol.
What's that for?
Clenbuterol is actually not a steroid, but it's used for cutting. A lot of bodybuilders use it for cutting.
Yeah.
It's actually asthma medication.
Oh, really?
It's a bronchodilator.
Oh,
and it was first actually created for livestock.
All right.
In some European countries, Eastern European countries, it was approved for humans.
Okay.
But in the US, it was never approved for humans. It was always been for livestock. But a lot of bodybuilders figured it out and started using it in bodybuilding.
Okay.
Trembolone, for instance, is a cutting drug.
Yeah.
It's what they call juice of the gods because of its extreme anabolic effect. But it was invented for cows.
What's the just for our subscribers, since hindi naman nila masyadong kabisado, what's an anabolic?
Anabolic, when a person is anabolic, it means that your ability to process food, you're like this sponge that just opens up and everything you eat becomes efficient.
Okay. So the ability to absorb, progress, develop,
Yes.
is there. That's the anabolic phase.
It becomes more efficient.
Okay.
Unfortunately, when you remove that element,
Oo.
then you go back to becoming mortal.
Being a regular Joe. Yeah.
And that's when people get fat sometimes, when they stop.
Yeah. Okay. For the Mary Keepers as well, I think the cochero term is more of the titos din kasi if back in the day once you ride all these sa Manila, yung mga cochero sobrang makwento diba? They'll tell you all these stories. Dito nakatira dyan. Dito may so gano'n that once we say cochero terms minsan, it's basically full of BS usually. Hindi mo na narinig yun, Lester, no?
Hindi na
Oo. So Hans, now you have your own supplement line.
Yes.
What's this? Can you tell us more about your supplement line?
Well, we have this. I have a supplement line called Reborn Performance.
Reborn Performance.
And
Okay.
It's R3 BORN Performance. And the reason I created it is because a lot of the supplements that I've tried are basically I'm not extremely happy with. So I worked with a lab in the US where we created certain products.
Yeah.
Initially, it was performance enhancing. It was this thing called SARMs, but we stopped selling those. So we focus more on the natural stuff now.
Okay.
Which is Reborn Performance. We have Sub-Q, which is a fat burner.
Okay.
And it was created basically to make you sweat.
All right. To speed up the metabolism?
To speed up your metabolism,
Okay.
to give you more energy. And what a lot of the fat burners that I've tried before gave me was the initial jolt, and then suddenly you crash.
Yep.
This doesn't have it.
All right. So
Sustained energy.
sustained energy. I remember, I think when I was young, I forget the brand, pero the problem was parang your heart would palpitate. Sometimes you get a little jittery because of all the caffeine that's in it. So for this one, what's your primary product? It's the fat burner.
It's the fat burner. It's actually our only product right now.
Okay.
And we have several products in the pipeline. We have the BCAA. We have a testosterone booster that's coming out. But those are still under development and will probably come out in 2020.
This is one business siguro that I'm very intimidated with, because I feel like it's so capital intensive with product development, ang bigat ng R&D ata dito eh.
There's I was the guinea pig, so it was a little bit cheaper.
Yeah. Plus you have experience, you have the know-how, right?
Trial and error, a lot of trial and error.
Yeah. Pero how do you market it now? It's mostly on social media.
Right now, all on social media.
Do you sponsor athletes?
We have several athletes that we work with.
Yeah.
And we're really lucky and happy to be working with these athletes. They love the product and they really believe in it.
At least now is the time for collaboration kasi.
Yes.
Not you don't have to immediately give a fee to someone. Now you can ask someone if you want to promote the product, if you want to help out. Ganun kasi ginawa namin sa teddysage eh. Nung umpisa muna, we'll just give out products lang and they're nice enough to wear it, to post it. So that's your supplement line. It's R3 and then Born, BORN. And then if they want to buy this, where do they go?
They can go on Instagram, and we just launched our website last night.
Cool.
It's www.r3bornperformance.com.
All right. So you're hearing it first here on Spill the Beast. They just launched their website. So it's Reborn. Yeah. Okay. So right now, you also have your merch. Merch bata. And I hate it when I say merch. Because it's not, for us, it's not merch. We really sell shirts. But for you guys, your what do you call this? Parang sleeveless hoodie, no?
Sleeveless hoodies. We have some shirts. We have caps. We have a shaker cup. We have a water jug. But those will come out later in the year. So we're excited to be launching this.
Hans, you're very enterprising. You have always, parang nakikita ko kasi you also have for the memory keepers who don't know, you also have luxury cars Manila, and then you have this, right?
Yes.